Welcome to Car Sales Talk 101, where it's all about life in the car business. Telling you like it is. Here's the man with the plan, Terry Cameron. Let's get started.
Welcome back to Car Sales Talk 101. I'm Terry Cameron. Thanks for hanging out with me again. This will be the last episode of the year, so I'm hoping it's a good one. You know, I can't believe just how fast this past year has gone, especially the past several months. You know, everybody coming out of all the COVID protocol, and I know, it's starting to bounce back again. But, you know, we're getting a little tired of that, and we're starting to get back to our life. And ever since that time has happened, man, business has gotten great. Time is flying. And, I mean, I think it was just yesterday was Thanksgiving. Now we've got just over 10 days until Christmas. So time is flying. Great time of the year. And a great time to say thank you to all of you that have listened and subscribed to my podcast. Yeah, I know it's tougher and tougher to put these episodes out because there's only so much you can talk about when it comes to Car Sales Talk 101. And I do have additional podcast subjects, I guess I should say, that I may be working on here in the future. But the only way that I can express my gratitude to everybody is and other than thanking them, is to respond to their questions. And recently I received an email from Mia Livingston. She's brand new in the car business, sells Toyotas, and says that she listens to the podcast and she has some questions about what to say to a B-back. Well, I guess the first thing you need to learn how to say to a B-back is, please. The statistics say that anywhere between 1.2 and 1.3 visits, physical visits a customer makes to a dealership is all it takes for them to make a purchase. So if they're at your dealership and they're leaving, you have to figure out a way to say please. And I don't necessarily mean you just beg. You know, if you're older like me, you'll remember the Joey Suzu commercials where he grabbed the customers around their ankles and they drug them out to the parking lot before they left. I'm not saying you have to do all that, but here's what you have to do. Now, there's questions that you ask before the customer leaves, and there's questions that you ask after the customer leaves. I guess I should lead into exactly what a B-back is. Let's give you some examples. If a customer comes in today and you talk to them about buying a car, and I don't care if they came into the service department, the parts department, if they were just looking, or if they were on their skateboard or bicycle going through the lot on their way to someplace else. And you talk to them about purchasing a car. You greet them, you tell them your name, you hand them a business card, you get their information, and they don't buy. They leave. Well, for whatever reason, it doesn't matter. If you can get them to come back, and I mean with some effort, don't just hope that they show back up again, but phone calls, text, emails, videos. You have got to get a hold of that customer, and you have to do something to get them to come back. So if they didn't buy a car today, and over the next week or 10 days, even tomorrow, they show back up, that's a B-back. Now, if the customer agreed to purchase the car today, but we didn't finish everything up today, we couldn't get them financed, whatever it may be, and they show up the next day, well, that's not a B-back. That's a pre-sold. They've already agreed to buy. They're just coming back in to finalize the documents. So a B-back is somebody that you talked to that was physically on the lot, that did not buy, and they come back, hopefully from the efforts that you put into it. That's a B-back. So as I mentioned just a little while ago, customers shop anywhere between 1.2 and 1.3 dealerships physically before they make a purchase. So what you have to do is to set the B-back up. And I always told my salespeople what they have to do is, of course, we don't want to pre-qualify anybody, and we want to assume that they are buying a car today because they're on your lot. They can look at a particular car. They're talking to you. You have to assume, regardless what they say, that they are buying a car today. So what I want you to do is start selling the B-back. That's what I tell my salespeople all the time. Sell the B-back. Just do everything you can to impress them. You've got to be better than the salesperson down the street. You have to impress them. That means you need to know your product. You need to follow the procedure. You need to look, sound, and act like a professional. We don't want you going out there kicking tires, smoking, joking, and spitting. Get the dark sunglasses off. Go out there and treat them like they're buying, regardless of what they say and what they look like. And if you treat them that way, if you give them the 100% of the process, 100% of the time, you have a much better chance of getting them back than anybody else. So the first question you're going to ask your customer is, as far as a be-back goes, is ask before they even leave. Mr. and Mrs. Customer, please come back. Okay, that sounds a little bit too simple. That's not exactly what you have to say. But all the actions, all the processes that you did, all the questions you answered, the way you carried yourself, the professionalism, that is asking the customer to come back. Because all you're doing is making the next guy or gal look bad, compared to you at least. Now the customer's gone. What do you have to say to get them back? First thing is you don't want to wait too long after they leave. And when I say wait too long, I mean anything after an hour is too long. You need to shoot them a text as soon as they leave. Shoot them a text with the vehicle, or at least the information of the vehicle if it's not in stock, in that text. Hey, this is your car, Mr. and Mrs. Customer. Just want to let you know if you have any questions, I'm here. If you can shoot them the video, man, that would be great. If you can shoot a video to a customer, who else does that? Think about it. Who else shoots a video out to their customer via text or email of the car that they came in to look at? Just a short 30-second to a minute video. Nobody does that. Most salespeople forget all about their customer until the next day when the CRM says, hey, you need to call them. Which is the next thing we have to do. We have to call them. Within the first 30 minutes of them leaving the dealership, you send them the text, if you can, with a video in it. Then you're going to shoot them an email with all your contact information and thanking them for coming by. And then you're going to call them. Before the end of the day, hey guys, I know it's late. You probably have a lot of things on your mind. I just want to call and let you know that if you have any questions whatsoever, I'm here to answer them. Have you thought of anything since you left? Now, as long as you're not pressuring them to buy, you're not pressuring them to set a date when they're coming in, then they'll be fine with that. Okay, you do that tomorrow. The CRM does say, hey, you got to call the customer. Hopefully your CRM says your manager has to call the customer. That's even more powerful. The manager's called in to see what they can do. If your manager is not one of those managers that likes to call the customers, well, then you're going to have to do it. And it's so much easier if you were professional the day before. So give them a call, and if you have to leave a message, just let them know, I have great news. Give me a call as soon as you get in. Whatever you do, you don't hang up on somebody's voicemail. Remember their caller ID, and that's not very professional to hang up on their caller ID. That's what spammers and scam callers do. So don't do that. Get yourself out of that same light as those bad guys. Now, if they do answer the phone, the last thing you need to do is say, come on, guys, I need you to come in and buy a car. We're not going to get into that with the customer at all. We just want to thank them for stopping by the previous day. Let them know that, hey, we're here. Do you have any questions? Have you thought anything else about it? And if you did your job, you probably could have did a little bit of more research on that vehicle based upon what the customer said were their hot buttons, why they were purchasing the car, and you could talk to them about that. You can let them know that the rebates are ending soon. The special incentives, the rates are ending soon. They need to take advantage of them while they can. We only have so many in stock. I just want to let you know that I'm going to hold this car for you. If you don't want to buy it, just let me know. But if you do, please tell me. All right. So you did all this. You followed up with them, and they show back up on the lot. And Mia, I'm thinking this is where you were asking, what questions do you ask a be-back? Well, the be-back shows up. Customer shows back up. What I want to do, and I mean, I almost ask you to force this on that customer, is get them behind the wheel again. Hopefully their first visit, they got to demo the vehicle. Well, you got to get their blood boiling again. You got to get those senses up. They need to feel good about this car. Their emotions need to be way up there. And the only way to do that, and the best way to do that, is get them behind the wheel, let them drive it again. They need to get that feel, and they got to get that total mental ownership going. So you take them on a test drive. And when I say take them on a test drive, on a demo, that means you have to be with them. Don't pitch them the keys. All right, you get back off the demo. I want you to think about this. Remember this, that the closing percentage for a be-back is 67%. So almost 7 out of every 10 B-backs that come in, they're going to close. But don't bank on those numbers. You still have got to do your job. You still have got to take them on that demo. You got to bring them back. You got to appraise their car. You got to get them to sit down, and you have to negotiate and close. And the questions that I think that need to be asked are just, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, thank you for coming back. But let me ask you this. Exactly what reason did you come back today? Was it the vehicle was the right vehicle? Was I the right salesperson? Is the right dealership? Hopefully it was a combination of all three. I just want to make sure that I'm not missing anything out, and I don't want to mess anything up, especially if you've been shopping other places. I don't want to do what those people did. I like to think we are a little bit different than most other dealerships. So you just let me know what I need to do to finish this up, and I'll fight with my manager to get it done. Fair enough? All right, so did I give you a whole bunch of questions to ask a B-back? No, I didn't. The object of the game is to sell the B-back, is to do such a good job their first time here, and then when they do show up, it's because they liked you, and you did such a great job, they came back. Remember, 67% bought. 71% bought because they liked their salesperson. Do everything you can. Sell the B-back. Give them that full meal deal. Roll out that red carpet. And if they have to think about it, if they have to eat, sleep, or pray on it, well, we want them to eat, sleep, and pray on a good experience. Not just a satisfied experience, but a delightful experience. Well, guys, I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. You'll hear back from me again in 2022. But in the meantime, if you have any questions whatsoever, please do not hesitate to email me. The young lady at the end of this episode will give you my email address. I really do, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, really do appreciate all my listeners and subscribers. So do me a favor. Give me a Christmas present. Head on over to Apple Podcast. Write me a review. Give me a rating. Good, bad, or indifferent. It doesn't matter. I learn from all the comments that I get. And thank you very much. Remember, the sky's the limit, and I'll see you next year.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode. Please rate it and write a review on Apple Podcast. We appreciate your valuable feedback. You can email Terry at 10minutesalestalk@hot.rr.com. And don't forget to share the show with a friend.